This video is going to go over my 3 favorite Kadour Ziani based movements that are wrapped around fascial tensegrity, where I'm reintegrating the fascia and teaching the body to be elastic, but also move through full ranges of motion. For all of these, I'll give a regression or an easier way to do the movement, and then how I've been doing the movement and how I suggest you begin to do the movement once your body is ready. This can be related to tissue tolerance, but also just immobility that you need to work on before you get here. And if you feel like this is way out of your league, it might be. And that's why I have the base posture videos for you to go through, from cat to gorilla, that you can start building out understanding the movements. Also, if there's anything I go over very quickly, it's in those videos, nice and slow, to talk you through how are you going to hold your hands on the ground, how are you going to move your body, some of the ins and outs of why you're tucking your chin, things like that. So let's get to the first one, which is the cow press, as I call it. To do this easier, we're going to have the toes on the ground and then the knuckles on a ledge. And as you're going, you're pushing up and then coming back. You're trying to keep that core connected all the way through, and then tucking the chin at the top. At the top, if you say it really loud, really high pitch, it's kind of funny. And what you're doing here, it's hard to talk while you do that. You can see that. What you're doing here is you're stretching the entire back posterior fascial chain. So just to show you one more time, we're compressed. The front chain, front of our body, is compressed. And then as you go through the movement, you're still compressing the front as you open up the back, and then you come back through. So that's the regression, the variation there. Now, if we are working on it without the regression, we're actually in that cow pose where we're here, and then we can start with our hands out farther. You can use your toes both ways. I like to do the toes this way. Again, easier this way, more difficult this way. And pushing up, stretching out those legs, and going through. Should feel the entire core compress as you tuck the chin. Then as you move the hands back, it gets more and more difficult. So if my hands are basically at my ankles, it is an extreme stretch, and I think right about here is the top of my flexibility. So we're compressing now with the core, coming up, and then back through. So doing about 10 to 20 of those is going to be an amazing exercise, or even full workout for you. Pressing the front, opening up the back. Next one is tying in to the glutes. So the glutes have been basically the tightest part of my body for most of my life. So we're here. This is more like the pigeon, where we're going to keep the knee to the ankle straight. This toe is going to be pointing out, knuckles on the ground. We're having this position with the hands, and then you can do it with the pinky toes, but you can also do the top of the foot on the back. Now we're sitting back, not twisting this way, keeping everything nice and straight. And then you're squeezing the core to the quad here and pushing up to the top position and coming back down. Because I have the pad here, it's a nice, easy regression. Makes it super comfy, kind of, as you go through. Eventually you could take away that, but you're squeezing the core, keeping the knee up. And as you can see, I'm using the big toe in the back to also have a little bit of a regression. So to advance this, we're gonna use the flat ground, having that same position. And then I bring the back leg over to where it's on the top of the foot. So we have pinkies, and pinkies are gonna be on the ground once we're here. I did not pre-stretch this, so the glute has some pull from yesterday. We're here, squeezing the core, and then flexing the foot forward, and all the pinkies are where we're at. We can hold this. We can also do this for reps. And you can also reach through, get extra stretch, and come back. So again, it's about 10 push-ups. Sometimes you even can feel your chest while you're going through that. That goes through for the advanced pigeon. Now, the last one is a little bit difficult to start with if you don't have the strength, but in general, it's more about the elasticity in the fascia of the upper body and lower body all together. So what this is basically push-up hops, but you're doing it on the pinkies or big toes or the feet. There's not necessarily an easy way to do this other than jumping less. But if we're here, we can, and yes, I am on concrete, and this will hurt a little bit, but as the tissues get stronger, you get more and more used to it. Now you also want to do this one on the open palm, which can be even more difficult for people because their hands are so tight from grabbing everything all the time that they close back up. So you got to keep it open. And we're here. And basically you're compressing and then opening up. So those movements all have helped my fascia integrate quite a bit throughout the body. They also get the muscles sore if you do them properly, slowly, and open it up. Then as you move faster and faster, you start to feel more and more elastic. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And if you're looking at that like, no way I can start there, go back to the base videos, watch through those, and then you'll be ready for these. Enjoy.